Today I'm going to show you guys the leave it command. This is a really handy one if your dog likes to eat things on their walk, they like to chase cats, squirrels, rabbits. It's a really good one to have under your belt because you can use it in a lot of different situations. So with leave it, I like to start inside the house no matter what. You want to start in the calmest setting. What I like to do is have a wall behind me to kind of help, and I will use my whole body to shield the leave it object. Start with an easy object, something that's kind of boring to your dog, and what I use is just this little like rubber bone. Neither of the boys really like it, so I am gonna work with Duke on this because he likes to chase cats or he tries to say hi to every dog on the street. And if I have a really solid leave it command for him, I can use that in those situations. So I'm gonna practice this with him to show you guys how to teach your dog to leave it. So like I said, I like to use a boring object that your dog doesn't really like to kind of teach them what leave it means in the first place. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place the leave it object on the ground behind me, and I'm just gonna teach them how to leave it. One important rule with teaching your dog leave it is you never want to let your dog get the object, because if they get it, then it becomes a game to them. Who's faster than who? I can beat you to that, especially once you start upgrading the leave it object to like treats and other things like that. So never let them get the object. Do whatever you can, put yourself in between them and the leave it object, whatever you can do. I'm gonna put it on the ground behind me. Leave it. Yes, yes. And I'm gonna reward him when he stops looking at the leave it object and looks to me. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. And then I'm gonna back up, kind of give him some space to, where he has the opportunity to go get that leave it object, the bone that we're using. Yes, good boy. But he's choosing to ignore it, so I'm gonna reward him. Yes, good boy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move it around a little bit. Leave it. Yes, good boy. When you move it around, it intrigues them more and it makes them want to go after it. Makes it a little bit harder for them. Leave it. Yes, that was such a good one. Now this is why I like to use my whole body, because some dogs, leave it. Yes, good boy. Some dogs are really gonna wanna try to charge that to get to it, whereas if you have the wall behind you and your body blocking them, you have a lot more of a chance to block them from getting the leave it object or the bone that you're using. So I'm just gonna keep moving it around, kick it a little, leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. That's a big treat. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. So now he's not trying to move towards it anymore. He's just looking at it. And then when I say leave it, he's looking to me. Good boy. So this is really good. This is teaching him, I'm gonna ignore something boring and I'm gonna get rewarded with candy and chocolate. The closer you kick it to him, leave it, yes. The harder it's gonna be. And the further you kick it, the harder it's gonna be for them. Leave it. Yes, good boy. If they get too fixated on it, even after you said leave it, just make those sounds, redirect him to you. Yes, good boy. You're my good boy, aren't you? And then once you're done with that object, pick it up so they do not get the leave it object. So once they're almost bored of the first object that we use, they're not really paying it any attention anymore, we can upgrade to a harder thing. And what I like to choose is like a big chunk of treat that they can easily see. And what I'm gonna do with this big chunk of treat is exactly the same as the first time. I'm gonna place it on the ground. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Duke, leave it. Yes. And now I'm gonna kind of give myself some room. I'm just gonna walk into him a little bit. Yes, good boy. Yes. And remember, you're rewarding them once they stop looking at, once they're not looking at the leave it object and they're looking to you. Leave it. Yes, good boy. I dropped it. Do you see that over? Oh, and over there. Good boy. Good boy. And I'm gonna keep moving the treat around a little. Leave it. Duke. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. Yes, just keep rewarding him every time he ignores it. Duke, leave it. Duke. Yes. And make sure you stay on your toes because when they're zoned in that long, there's a chance that they might try to lunge for it. Yes, good boy. Yes. Leave it. So I'm just going to step in between him. Duke. Yes. Wait till he looks to me. Yes, good boy. Duke, leave it. Yes. That time I gave him a little bit more freedom, kind of backed away so he could really see that treat and actually have a line to go get it. Leave it. Yes, good boy. That time I kicked it a little bit further. Leave it. Duke. Yes. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Leave it. Okay. Yes, good boy. That one was a little bit harder for him. We were really close, and he was probably within at least a foot of that tree. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Leave it. Duke. Yes, good boy. Yes. Duke, leave it. Yes. Good boy, yes. So he's still getting zoned into it and going for it sometimes, which tells us that this treat is still working. It's still making him think about leaving it. Yes, good boy, Tyler. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Yes, you're doing so good. Now, sometimes you might have to, here's an example. I'm gonna kick it. Yes. Duke, leave it. Yes, good boy. You might have to get in between your dog and the tree and almost, move back and forth and back them away from the tree. Yes, good boy. Yes. But doing this with a boring object first and slowly increasing it to really hard things is teaching them what leave it means. It's making the association in their mind with the word and the command leave it. And now once you have this down in your home 100%, they never try to go for that leave it object when you say it, that's when you can start working on it outside. But we're just going to keep practicing this. Leave it. Yes, good boy. That was a really good one. I'm going to try to kick it a little bit closer to him to make it harder. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Yes. Good boy. Leave it. Yes, good boy. You can use it in so many different situations. I'm going to use it for Duke trying to chase cats. In order to get there, though, I am going to have to teach him leave it on a leash outside in that different environment. But we want to have 100% of recall on leave it inside before we move to teaching him outside. Leave It is really going to help all those pet owners that have dogs who want to eat their things or chew on their socks. They can teach their dog Leave It and then use it in that situation. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helped you a lot. Let me know what parts you liked. You can DM me on Instagram, tweet me, whatever you like.